Alright, this is a very ad lib appeal to Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump. Um, Hi, it's John. Um, so yeah, Donald Trump doesn't want war. Donald Trump's a businessman. Get back to business, business as usual. It's, in the long and short of it, I can guarantee you that if you save Frodo, save me from my current predicament, I'm being coveted. Like Frodo, like you can see sometimes they find Frodo and they're like, we need him for our people and our cause and our IRA agenda and the Rose World. I'm being very much coveted by the people that kind of happened upon me and discovered me, um, and very powerful people, including European presidents and Dutch and French and Swiss, and our corrupt Irish president Higgins from Florida. He's very aware of what's happening and he's concealing and coveting the situation for himself. This Sullist enlightened program of what watchers. Are you familiar with the Book of Enoch? Basically, I have a lot of watchers, and they led a mutiny against me, and they all sit around watching me all day, every day. So it's very hard to kind of get away from them or anything like that because they know every single thought. If I do run, like I'm encouraged to run and just leave and get away, they chase. It's a very coward-minded situation. They'll just chase me, and then when they chase me, they just try to attack me. So I'm very much been like 10, 11 years now, remaining very calm and surrounded by. I don't know if you've ever been surrounded by a cow herd, a herd of cows. It's very scary. Like they're really big, but you just have to stay calm, and they kind of don't stampede on you. So I've been very calmly in the day of the lamb, very calmly and very patiently and somewhat bravely, wandering around for the last 10 or 11 years, trying not to excite them or get them. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just need somebody big and powerful to oust them, trump them, and take me away. And when you do take me away, I think a Rockefeller said it was like a coal mine. If you do take me away, it's what Jesus would do, save John. Everybody's like, stay away from John the Baptist. He's crazy. He's a weirdo. And but Jesus didn't listen. Jesus wasn't afraid, and Jesus befriended John the Baptist, and this is the way Jesus became very blessed. So you will become very, very blessed by saving me, protecting me, and preventing the indulgences. Just many, many indulgences being committed through my name. Now, I'm not saying that if you save me, oh, we can indulge together. No, I really want to stop the indulgences altogether, but there'll be many other positive blessings that come about it. Mainly, all the wars will stop. All the pending wars will stop. All the wars will stop. Everything will stop. The reason the whole world is disintegrating into war is because you're losing your covenant with God, and it's true, losing your covenant with me as well. Um, I'm a real nice person. I'm just getting very, very angry and very, very tired lately, and I get very, very, very angry, and I smash up. And when I smash up and get angry, and because they're warring on me, I'm not warring on them. They're warring on me all day. War, abusing me, abusing my family, abusing my friends. Anyone even who come in with phenomenological reactions to it, like bus driver or anything. And I talk to somebody at a bus stop, some girl maybe start talking to her at a bus stop, like they're gonna be screwing with her and covering her. So I've done the whole hiding away thing, hiding away and weeping alone in the wilderness as predicted. Um, that's where you'll find him. Someone as King David, the thief in the night, stole the scroll, and you'll find him crying alone in the wilderness. I've done all that. It wasn't going anywhere, and they were just building more and recruiting more and getting more powerful and getting more of a foothold on the situation. The more I just cried alone and was hiding away. So that's why I started making this YouTube channel, because I needed a bit more of a positive demographics, positive people saying he's nice, he's friendly, he's intelligent, he's talented, and that's all you need to do, really. That's what was happening in the first place before they discovered me and started leading a mutiny and war of watchers against me. This mutiny, by the way, in itself, this body, it's like, if you got bad people in the church, the Eucharist doesn't taste that nice of a sweet wine. It actually might taste very bad if you got bad company in the church. I got a massive majority of bad company, and I actually think this might be really related to the nature of cancer itself. That if you mutiny on the Holy Church, it's like cancer cell, a tumor is like a mutiny of cells, and the mutiny wants to take over. You see aggressive forms of cancer, and they want to spread and take over the entire body. You need to kind of teach cancer, and I tried to teach this already, that if cancer is successful and takes over the body dies, and the cancer dies with the body. So it's trying to make these people realize they can't be successful in trying to destroy me. They already have destroyed me, and it was like the an antecedent to the coronavirus, me being killed a few times. people in Ireland that have done this have witnessed the fact that they've murdered me in a tent once or twice when I was homeless, abducted and tortured by the military, men dressed as police if they weren't police themselves. Higgins might have been involved in that. So they somehow got away with all that. Triple homicide, abduction, torture, and they now have me under permanent surveillance, which is the problem in the first place. And they have me down as pertaining to or relating to some sort of very dangerous and scary murder, kids being killed and stuff, because I'm related to the situation. Basically, in this meantime, they're like bringing kids from all around the world, I think, to my hometown, to my local proximity, my area, and killing them, to get them connected to me first in some way, and then kill them so they can have them as little playthrough things. I'm not sure what it is. So this is constant stream of death going on around me, and it really needs to stop. You know what I mean? They really didn't make good use of the situation. The potential that was inherent in the situation. They really did just bugger, cheat, rob me, and try to cheat me. There's a big holy fortune as well, Donald. There's a massive big holy fortune. It's actually, I hear the world is mine, like the island of Ireland belongs to me. It's like, it's your island, John, and I hear it's your world, John, all the time. I'm not sure if it's a very Tony Montana. It's not really a good thing. It's a consolation prize. I probably lost my heaven and I claim the earth as mine. So it's kind of like, you want the Gulf of Mexico to be the Gulf of America and all, it could be very much the Gulf of whatever the fuck I want it to be. Again, if you just rescue me, protect me, and swat away all these flies that are hanging around me, you give me a little office job. I'm a very good advisor on certain things, and defense attorney as well. I'm a very, 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 very good at defense attorney. I think it's one of the reasons I got kicked out of heaven in the first place. I was trying to defend myself and say, don't you dare try to defend yourself. But yeah, and we're going to call this office Potiphar. So you notice in the Bible, the great reoccurrences that we see all throughout the Bible, we see a similar situation, very similar, that I got ripped off by people that were supposed to be very close to me, French, Dutch, Swiss, European politicians. And I got stuffed down a well and concealed down a well, and then I got sold in gypsy slavery to Miami and the IRA, who just keep me in the dungeon. And Potiphar is the president, was supposed to be like Higgins, who realizes they have treasure in the dungeon. And Joseph, and he's a great soothsayer, and he's a great interpreter. I love interpreting art, actually. I'm very good at that. A Rockefeller promised me some sort of degree in fine art. Yeah, never care about the promises of Rockefellers, to be honest. Sorry, you probably are an honorary Rockefeller yourself, Mr. Trump, or some sort. Wouldn't be surprised. You have to be in the family in kind of way. I don't know. Anyway, it's not my business. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, there's a great potential. Yeah, quadrillions. I think it's an infinite amount of wealth, or like I own the entire planet. So again, befriending me and saving me, getting me on the team is very, very, very worth it. Because it wasn't very appealing back in the days. Like, just like the gypsies in the bushes, it wasn't really a voice of a Satan or a devil or anything like that. To turn to Jesus, like, if you stay away from John the Baptist, we'll give you lots of money, because it was John the Baptist's money. So they have no bother dividing it up. Like, that's what's happening at the moment. They don't bother sharing my ori or sharing the money, because it's stolen merchandise. That's why they divide it up and call it all fair. And say, yes, we'll all take a nice, even fair share. Because it's stolen. That's why they're giving it away, and that's why they're dividing it up. But otherwise, they wouldn't be. It would be, if it was theirs, they would be concealing it and coveting it, protecting it, if it was their own. But anyway, yeah, what would you? And yeah, another point in this, I'm fairly certain that Christianity, and I happen to be one of these 144,000 of Jesus's, our holy savior's, favorite kind of humanoids on earth, as one of the 144,000. So that's why when they try to kill me, sometimes when this happens, they burn the witch and the witch dies. And it wasn't really a witch, it was something special. But I'm just very, 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 very conveniently and very luckily, and was one of the 144,000 of Jesus' favorite humanoids on earth. So when they tried to kill me loads, it didn't happen. And you'll notice Jesus was one of John the Baptist's big time, 144,000. If even you had 144 friends, Jesus was very much so. That's why Jesus was also preserved. This is why Lazarus was also preserved. Jesus turned around to Lazarus, but I love Lazarus. And he's up there in like the first top 20 people that Jesus loves, and Lazarus didn't die. So saving me and this putting an end to this silly little predicament or circus around me. You're obviously going to jump up in my top favorite people's list on earth. Being ignored while I'm desperately making these genuine appeals will put you very much not in the top 144,000. And this is a lot why, like, I emailed Putin a lot, or the embassy of Russia. I've emailed lots of embassies. I've contacted lots of people. I was thinking about going with Iran, but they're probably pretty busy now at the moment. And they kind of ignored me, or my government particularly, and the Gardaí have told him to stay away from John the Baptist, that he's criminally insane and violent and dangerous person. Celibate, vegan, Taoist, and I've never harmed a person in my life. Got kicked the crap out of loads in life, but I've never harmed anybody. I was flailing on the ground at one point, and I think I might have accidentally clipped the guy that was attacking me with like my steel toe cap boot. That was kind of accidental. Anyway, yeah, so great potential. I know you're very busy, but again, this is a one-stop shop and a very affordable office, or very affordable folly, almost you might call it, a very affordable folly. And I'm fairly certain, after like 7 years anyway of me being in Potiphar, the whole world would be perfect. Or the place where Joseph was that got the office. So this is even more interesting, although I don't want to give anybody really an upper hand in the situation, that there was grain in Egypt. So Potiphar saved Joseph and gave him a job. And then, like, Potiphar's wife started hitting on Joseph and stuff like this. I'm laying out, and that's very real cool. But there was grain in Egypt anyway, and there was no grain anywhere else in the world, because they had still already betrayed Joseph and thrown on down the well. So Egypt had this wonderful advantage over the rest of the world, and I know Donald Trump wants to make America great again, and America outstanding, and the world kind of capitulate to America a bit. There'll be grain in Egypt if you save me. If America saves me and I'm in America and nobody else is really sorry, there'll be grain in America, and there'll probably still be war and famine in other places. Not war and famine. You want to stop the war, it's fine. Things. But anyway, these things become a reality, so it's appreciated, the reality of these things. We've all forgotten about the reality of Christianity or covenant with God, and now we're going to learn through demonstration of mission, when it's taken away, just how much or how important this covenant is with God and his children, I suppose. Yeah, so if you fall out of it, you're going to realise the loss of God. I always thought that was interesting. I never said to be afraid of anything except, and I didn't actually think you could lose God, but the only thing to be afraid of was the loss of God. As the only thing, because you wouldn't be afraid of anything otherwise. There's nothing to be afraid of. But then if you lost that, then very good reason to be absolutely very, 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 very concerned. So this is why churches are under these big immortal buildings that never perish, and this is why the Gospels are everywhere, just to make sure there's. But then again, because it's so saturated, it's become oblivious, it's become unappreciated, it's become forgotten about, and yeah, it's going to be made a reality again in some way. If you don't take it on board yourself wholeheartedly, you will wholeheartedly take it on through consequence or through demonstration of the omission of what happens. So you can't blame war on anyone really. This place, I just can on the IRA or Sinn Féin or the people that are buggering me in the Rose World. You can blame it all on them. You could blame coronavirus on them. You could blame a lot of the stuff on these people. It wasn't China, but just like springtime starts in out the east, and springtime filters through the rest of the world, it starts out east. Things like global plague will start from China and spread out east. So I wouldn't be blaming China exactly. I did call the Chinese embassy, and they said, sorry, no English. I'm like, all right, sorry about you, China. I haven't contacted the American embassy yet. But anyway, I've made many appeals. I did contact, I suppose, from, you're very busy, but people that have overlooked me, I get pretty angry and pissed off about. So sorry to throw you this ball. The potential that you might not catch it. But yeah, no, you'd really want to catch this ball. I think that's really all I really want to say. Yeah, Potiphar. It's very affordable folly. I imagine you could very easily locate me or find me. Don't like to really give. I gave a lot of my personal information out in great confidence to people, thinking that they'd come and help me, and they probably just came and cheated me, or buggered me and screwed me. Higgins particularly, I sent a lot of emails while very much suffering and a lot of agony and a lot of torment and a lot of discomfort, tapping out patiently on a Gboard on my phone, very long and detailed and patient messages to Higgins, who never wrote back once. And I tried to explain it every single way possible to him. and I just felt stupid. And the same with the Vatican. And most times, actually, I emailed the Vatican. My heart broke. Like, it was really painful on my chest every time I clicked send to the Vatican. So I don't know what the story with those gypsies those are. Um, I had a lot of confidence in Leo at first. It seemed like all the world wars suddenly stopped when Leo came in. And that's gone now. It lasted for about 4 days, 5 days. All the world wars suddenly stopped, and there was a lot of ceasefires. And there was a lot of calming down, and then that's. I probably had another hissy fit and broke up and smashed up. And again, expecting that Leo would contact me by now after I appealed to him since he came into office. Appealed to every Taoiseach that came into office in Ireland. The second they come into office, I emailed them. So I've been ignored by 3 or 4 Taoiseachs. Taoiseachna. Um, yeah, Higgins has been in for like 9 years or something crazy. I don't know. He kind of came into power the second it started as well, so it was like really um little annoyingly convenient that he was a putter. Anyway, he's pig scum wealthy. He's one of the wealthiest men in Europe, and he's supposed to be on like a social servant's wage. And he's even getting funny Google ads these days of Higgins just throwing around wads of cash, big fucking throwing money around. Um,
The Republican leader with the small, greasy, wavy hair and his all his finery and cloth and turned into the evil empire. And the
and he even goes on about the empire.
What is he talking about? For too long, the empire.
Is he well in the head? What's an empire? There are no empires. Something about the UK or anyway. Yeah, he's got justice ahead of him anyway. Um, anyway, a lot of these people are very wealthy and powerful to ripping me off, Donald, and it's probably going to take somebody like yourself or somebody very wealthy and powerful to bat them off away. Going to be a lot of reclaiming trillions here and trillions there, and a lot of reclaiming trillions. But it'll pay off, I suppose, in the legal fees. I can't get justice. Like, I've tried to get justice about being abducted and tortured, disemboweled, technically. Um, yeah, the government of Ireland and the police just pushed back on me, like like gangsters. When I tried to get justice, I made a full report and gave again a lot of my honest and confidence into some Garda corruption line. And I don't know why I called the guards and told the guards about Garda corruption. That was really clever. And the next day, 2 full Garda cars packed full of lads, ready to roll gear, called around to my house and either tried to section me or arrest me for defamating or libel against the Gardaí. They're saying that I'm just making up stuff against the guards. Yeah, it's really scary what they can get away with. And actually, about over 50% of the patients in Newcastle Hospital were people that had suffered police abuse, either physical or sexual, and the police just say that they're crazy, and they get away with it in the Republic. It's very airtight, scummy Republic, and they're all working together. Anyway, yeah, I can go on and on and on, but again, you're busy. Oh, you won't be busy if you save me. You won't have to deal with war. I'd say it's a very busy game. Every split second matters. I wouldn't say you're even able to sleep if you're at war. I wouldn't say Putin has slept in 3 years. He's probably on some sort of mad, I don't know, bear drug or something like that. I don't know, but every second matters. But anyway, you can have a lot more free time on the golf links. Show me how to play golf. Yeah, I wouldn't mind learning. Looks kind of fun. I have a weird Happy Gilmore technique from playing hurling that I know if you blast a ball, it hits wind resistance and slows down at first, and then it'll lose the wind resistance and flop off. So if you do this really gentle swing, I notice it just catches really nice and catches with the air and the wind and really takes off. I've only hit a few of them because I usually blast with a hurley really hard. But I notice when you just hit it really like with one arm, just gently goes whoo. So I think that might be something to do with the spirit of golf. Anyway, you know what I mean? Making friends. Bumping up into 144,000 favorite people. Yeah, and there's nothing better than being, wealthy, Donald, and immortally wealthy and healthy. You know what I mean? That's something very appealing. When I suppose your wealthy person is your health or your longevity, and yeah, boasting some sort of fountain of youth through myself and my family. My mum actually is. Everybody's drowning in the fountain of youth. I'm pretty sure it's my mum. She doesn't look great these days. She looks pretty worn out and tired compared to how young and ageless my mother used to look. like 10 years ago before this started. It has nothing to do with the 10 years of natural aging. It's just to do with the amount of people buggering us and defiling us all day long. There's certain ways you can get connected to a person physically and bump into them on the street by accident, slow them down a bit, change their day, change their life. Physically, sexually is next, and that's a very deep-rooted one as well. That can be very deeply rooted. So there's a lot of people who sitting around masturbating and looking at me and chanting my name, which is really, really, really sickening and really annoying, and I'm puking and retching and gagging half the time. Sexually connected, you can get emotionally connected to somebody. So the next one up the list, emotionally connected. It's very special and powerful, as you can imagine. And you get intellectually connected, which is really what you want in these kind of situations. The teachings of Jesus, if Jesus ever, if you really, and it's hard to, gospel's very black and white. I really want to make a few movies, but if you really love Jesus and I really want to make a movie that would really make people realize how cool he was and streetwise he was and brave he was and very amiable he was, and then destroyed and stuff, and they become a bit more emotionally attached, I think that'd be a good thing. Yeah, intellectually attached. So that's the one you really want. Is the kind of cleanest one, I think, without getting too personally connected. It's just intellectually connected, finding mutual understandings. That's another way to stop war. I think there's always a mutual understanding available. Always a mutual understanding available. And Donald Trump probably likes this. And the people that don't meet the mutual understanding are just not good at being politicians, or not finding it. They don't want it. They just want war. But there's always a mutual understanding available, and that ought to be reached, or at least highlighted and denied. But you could easily reach a mutual understanding, and then if the people deny it, it's like, well, they denied the understanding. But war is just smashing your opponent, so you're just the last person left, and then you're right because the other person's dead. But I realized recently that's my interpretation of the poetry of what's the sound of one clapping hand. I always thought when I was a kid these things I couldn't understand it, but then if you just sit down and just actually just think not even 2 minutes, you can kind of figure it out. Sound of one clapping hand. There's no victory on your own. There's no victory on your own. If you destroy your enemy, you didn't make anything better. You just change the situation. You just made yourself de facto right by destroying all the other things. So I'm just saying there's no victory on your own. The sound of one clapping hand. Victory would be everybody involved. Right, that's enough. I need to hop in a bath and feel pretty nauseous. Sorry. This is the mornings I get very heavily attacked. I think I could destroy them. like Seth and was it Ra and Seth? I can't remember now. Ra, Sun and Seth, and in Egyptology, that they destroy me all morning, like fucking striving. Now when I get to about high noon, it's a lot easier after high noon. But I don't attack them at high noon. It's like they're attacking me all morning, all day. I probably have a much greater advantage in the evening, like afternoon. I could sit around. I got loads of books and crap and gypsy stuff I could use to just squash them, but I don't, So I'm not exactly at war. I'm just being fucking persecuted. It's interesting. There's a lot to be found and revealed through me, and there's a lot of understanding through me of things that happened in the Gospels. And it's like, oh, that's why they ripped him off, and oh, that's why they persecuted him. I was like, oh, that's why they killed him. And because you kind of wonder, it's like, why did they kill him? And I was like, what's the big deal? And there's like big crowds of people wanting them dead, and rich people wanting them dead, and Roman military want them dead, like IRA and all these pseudo-military want me dead. I was like, why? What the fuck have I done? A celibate-friendly, vegan, just a successful scholar, practically sainted scholar, and then people want to kill you. There's a lot of power inherent through these people, and they get little devils on their shoulder, tell them how to exploit you. They're being tested like Slugworth will be testing. What would you do, granted the opportunity? Would you betray this kid? Would you screw him? Would you mock him? Would you bully him? Would you befriend him? Would you protect him? Although he'll probably say, I don't need to be protected. I really don't. I'm not afraid of anything. But at the same time, the Dalai Lama was removed from Tibet and sent out west. Because if you ask the Dalai Lama why did he leave, it's like, oh, there were many hidden people. There were many people in the hidden places screwing with me. So they just had to take him away to somewhere where he wouldn't be screwed with. And that probably saved a lot of war. But then Tibet suffered his absenteeism. I have no problem leaving Ireland in some absenteeism, just to let them appreciate and respect their mistakes. No problem leaving Ireland in absenteeism. They really ought to realise the consequences of what they've done and feel ashamed. Like they're always so good. Whole country, whole world. This is another thing, like the disgrace of the Irish, what the Irish have done. Like the whole world's going to know about it, and kitty killing police and all this, and they just don't want it to happen. It's like, well, we couldn't have. Oh no, sorry, was it? The whole world doesn't love you, Ireland, as much as you love yourself. And the whole world would have no bother saying absolutely disgrace of the Irish. And you know they're very scum wealthy. The country is very scum wealthy for no good reason. So like any hard-working country out there trying to keep their GDP up or whatever is looking at Ireland throwing around all the cash and
Hey, we're enlightened, soulish, divine.
you know you won't have to feel too bad about putting them back in their place and making them really like a global disgrace. You know, doesn't sound appealing to you. Sounds very appealing to me. Put Paddy back in his box. Paddy last. If such things happened in Tyr and Sudan, I would have had no problems. But yeah, they happened in good old Ireland, oblivious Christian Ireland. It's hilarious actually because the IRA don't like Protestants. This is so much hypocrisy. They're making the protest movement very valid with all their Catholic indulgences at the moment. You know, it's like, and like, oh, it's hilarious. Like, you know, they don't like loyalists, political loyalists to the Queen, but they're all political loyalists to Florida. They're all little drummer boys to an Orange County, and it's just so much hilarious hypocrisy there that they are everything that they claim to hate. They're like practically black and tans, pseudo-military, running around bullying their own country. Again, with truth is potential, they can really screw with anybody. And I thought they'd be outside teenage discos. Yeah, for all the pretty young girls that are going partying. It's worse. Like, that's what I thought they'd be doing. They're outside libraries, culling little virgin girls who are studying for their junior certs and leaving certs. You know, they know what they're looking for, and it's like minds and brains and purity, and they're corrupting and defiling and feasting on their own fucking families and flock. Polluting their waters, like screwing with them from a distance. They think they're like, I don't know, it's just, you know, it's just weird. It's like American military, I imagine they point the guns at the enemy. No, the Irish military, as they call themselves, they point the guns at the Irish. You know, it's like you not military if you're pointing your guns in the wrong direction. It's just, they're just so backwards. Anyway, sorry, I just had to deal with these illiterate fucking hypocrites for 10, 11 years. So much so that if I come into like intelligent company, it's absolutely so refreshing. Just have to deal with this coward of absolute fucking moronic fucking gobbins for so long now. Anyway, so yeah, this is only supposed to be a short video. This is now a half an hour video. Okay, yeah, thank you for your time, and you know, the very affordable folly. Please put it to top priority. Again, if I get in with like Donald Trump, you know, fingers crossed, I'm gonna try and be friends with everyone. Like even Trump is kind of friends with everyone. He wants good business with China. He wants good business. He wants, you know, well, like business. He wants business relations. If I end, I'm still gonna be on Team Earth, Team everyone. You know, I'll make some friends in like Poland, and I'll make some friends in Tibet, and I'll make some friends in Iran or something. I'll make some friends all over. But I'll always remember, still be very much rooted in the person that saved and delivered me in the first place, or graciously received. And all those Christian prayers that they utter in church all the time, they have no idea what they actually mean. So really making the sugar-coatedness of Christianity really sickening to me lately. This is like how this oblivious, absolute oblivious commitment to something that they don't even understand. And if the opportunity came around again, they probably would just be Christ killers. Despite all their oblivious person, they just graciously receive him, and not like, you know, bitterly reject him. Graciously receive me 11 years later. Yeah, I'm very gracious. Okay, I'm gonna go jump in a bath. Pardon me. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for my time. I don't know what time is it? Okay.